Los Angeles has now entered its fifth day of escalating tensions over immigration raids in the city. City officials across SoCal are learning about these raids as they happen, and ICE does not confirm operations to protect the safety of their agents. So here to bring us facts about this immigration crackdown is immigration attorney Omarosa Nieto. You may know her from social media. Thank you so much for your time today.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
So we have confirmed ICE presence at Home Depots, at car washes, at places where street vendors congregate. What are you hearing as an immigration attorney about who is being swept up in these raids?
Anybody and everybody that is in the vicinity. So there are a lot of collateral arrests. So people that are maybe being sought after because there's an order of deportation that's outstanding. So family members are around or family members are in the car. And if they don't have proper documentation, they're being swept off as well. And many without due process. And that's the thing that is, of course, inflaming and making people in the community very angry. Some are family members of people that are being detained. And not only are they fearful, but they're very angry because things are being done out of the norm and out of the right way of doing things, which is humane and under the Constitution with due process.
Yeah, I mean, we just reached out to the Department of Homeland Security trying to get updated numbers on just how many raids have been conducted in the last 5 days, how many people have been detained, and they will not tell us. So how are you hearing as far as people who have actually been detained? What happens to them once that they are taken into custody by ICE?
Well, I can tell you what happens normally to somebody detained. However, many people that have been detained in the last couple days have not had access to counsel or had access to their family. So we don't know much about where they are, if they've been transferred to a different city or even a different state where there is detention room. But normally what happens is somebody is detained. They have a right to make a phone call. They have a right to seek counsel. They have a right to request a bond hearing before an immigration judge. If that bond is very high, they have a right to have a reduction of bond hearing, and they have a right to walk out if they've paid the fine, or if there's someone that is not a national security or risk to the community, they can even walk out OR, which is under what they call own recognizance without having to pay a bond. And later they'll be having hearings before an immigration judge to determine if they have a right to stay or they have to be given voluntary departure or a deportation order.
Now, the Wall Street Journal had some really detailed reporting today about the conversations that led up to this crackdown. And they really are attributing this to White House advisor Stephen Miller, who you can read what he has to say publicly. He posted on X saying, this was directed to the governor of California, you are currently giving free housing, health care, and welfare to illegal aliens en masse. Think about how much happier and wealthier everyone in California's working class would be if the illegals were instead deported. What's your response to that, this idea that people in California would be better off without these folks?
Well, we'll see as they're deporting people expeditiously and wrongfully. These people have been paying taxes for many years, and I've been practicing 40 years, and I see the majority of my clients pay taxes. Even if they don't have a valid Social Security number, if they're not legal in this country, if they're getting cash payments, they're still filing taxes. They believe and they remember amnesty, Reagan's amnesty in the 80s. And they knew how important it was to have taxes filed. So yes, perhaps the economy will save a few dollars here and there, but I think it'll be greatly affected California and other states where undocumented people are expeditiously removed when they see that taxes are no longer being paid and their contributions into the economy. So there has to be a balancing act. We can't just stay black or white. And in this situation, there's a lot of gray area.
We have to wrap up pretty soon, but I just want you to touch on what you're hearing from your clients. I know a lot of fellow parents at my kids' school have been shocked at the advice that, yes, you should carry your papers with you if you think that there's any risk that you might be stopped by immigration authorities. What is your sense right now where the immigrant community is in Los Angeles and SoCal?
Again, underline and underscore, very fearful because they're seeing that something that's never happened before, just a breach of a lot of rules and laws and procedure and protocol that is both legal and humane. So I am telling people to, yes, carry documents that show they've been living here at least 2 years. Why? Because the government has reenacted something that's called expeditious removal, where they can detain someone, and if they don't have proof that they've been here 2 years, they can send them out immediately, versus having the opportunity to go to court and fight a case before an immigration judge, either asylum or cancellation of removal. So many people do have relief. And yes, children should go to school. However, some children are undocumented as well. So parents are afraid of separation from their kids, as they saw during the first Trump administration, where children were separated from their family.
Right. And the superintendent of LA schools said that it's impacting people's ability to go to graduation ceremonies this week. Immigration attorney Alma Rosa Nieto, thank you so much for your time today.
My pleasure.